I know for the purposes of today's conversation, you wanted to discuss the importance of certifications in COVID and post COVID. So let's talk about that.
Yeah, I think the world's changed, right, for all of us in terms
Yes.
of what we anticipated COVID to be.
Mhm.
Where for me, my mindset was it's going to be a virus for about a month.
Me too.
And,
A
right,
few
and
weeks,
then
it'll be gone.
I know, and then it was going to be gone. And when
Mhm.
I left my corporate job, I left it in the heat of COVID.
Mhm.
And at the same time, I had a training center, a new lease that I had to pay. Aside from now paying myself, I had to pay a lease.
Mhm.
So my anxiety level was up the roof.
Yeah.
But I had an obligation to all my students who were in the class, and that's what kept me going. And what I realized was that more than ever in the COVID world is when we can get knowledge, get the right knowledge, upskill, learn what we need to, really prepare ourselves for the market today so that we can be successful. And for me, what that meant was looking at not just the certification, but holistically the entire roadmap.
Yeah.
And
The
what I
big
realized,
picture.
yeah, it's not just the certification. And I also have a business coach. I spoke to him and I said, I don't think anyone's going to sign up. And he said, people will sign up because this is a time where they have more, they're working remote, they're
Yeah.
able to direct their attention to something different and positive.
Mhm.
So I changed my messaging a little bit to resonate with what people needed in COVID world.
Mhm.
And that messaging was, this is your opportunity to learn, but learn with a coach who's going to teach you to take a certain process within
Mhm.
project management and learn how to apply it on the job. Not only that, but take that process and answer an interview question.
Mhm.
Because a lot of us were also getting laid off. And so
Yes.
then the market was becoming, it had a lot of candidates who were looking for jobs. There are many people interviewing with the same position. Well, how
Mhm.
do you set yourself apart in the world of project management? And so now, I look at the PMP certification completely different in our COVID world. Whereas before, if we remember, you would get the PMP, you would put it on your resume, and that would immediately get the attention of recruiters and your manager. You may get a promotion, but it's no longer the case.
Yeah.
Now, because the market's so saturated with really high skilled candidates, you really have to be able to distinguish yourself by using the lexicon, the vocabulary of project management, and
Mhm.
really saying, well, how are you going to respond to risks?
Mhm.
What are you going to do? And taking that interviewer through the journey of risk planning.
Yeah.
And well, how do you do that? And so now through the coaching, what I do is I make sure that people understand what it is from a process perspective, but
Mhm.
also here's what you need to say on the job, and here's how it happens in the real world.
Mhm.
And so there's been a pivoting of how I teach now,
Yeah.
you know, before pre-COVID and now in COVID.
I love that because essentially you're teaching them how to pivot. We have, like the course, we have pivot in a pandemic, but to pivot because at the end of the day, it's interesting because yes, we're all pivoting, right? And sometimes companies, just like you said, they're still hiring, they're still trying to find these candidates, but how do you now stand out? And then how do you pivot as quickly as the world is pivoting, as we have found out, and still be able to not just get that certification because yes, that is a one leg up, but then